Hello lovely people, welcome back to yet another video. I do want to give a disclaimer, a warning that we are going to be talking about some content that might be sensitive to some viewers. We're going to be talking about someone who was allegedly subjected to unwanted, exposure of another person's body. And I'm using alleged just because, like I said, lawyers are expensive. I don't want to get too messy with this. I'm going to give a TLDR before we get into things. From what I know, there was a girl who was doing a DoorDash run and it probably seemed like a normal night, a normal shift. But things quickly took a turn and got really fucking weird. So I was able to find an alternate upload of this video on a different website, but of course I can't show the entire video. I'll try and do my best to show context to what's going on, but I can't show the actual exposure. And before we do get into this, I do want to talk about some opinions that I've heard floating around on the internet, where some people have been saying, why did she open the door? Why did she go inside this man's house? This is her fault. She should have never encroached his privacy. But when we get into it, you're gonna see, I truly think it's the other way around. But let's get into this video. That's fucked up. So I am gonna have to cut this here and there just so you guys can get a glimpse of the door and see what's going on. But how I was talking about, people are saying, why did she open the door? Why did she go in the house? All of that type of stuff. We can see that door was wide open. She did not go inside of his house. He was laying there exposed. And we're gonna get into the conversation about her uploading the video a little bit later. We could talk about that. But in the video, there's a man lying on his couch. His pants are completely off. He's butterball naked except for a t-shirt, and he has like a pillow with his arm like halfway covering his face. And to me, as someone who has ordered DoorDash several times, multiple times, maybe a little bit too much in my life, whenever I order DoorDash, even if I have had something to drink and I'm a little bit inebriated, I've never thought to leave my front door wide open. It wasn't even like there was a screen door in place. No, both doors are wide open. The screen door is open as well. Generally, what I would do is I would say leave it at my door, and then I get the notification text that it's been dropped off. I see the picture and I'm like, oh sweet, my food's here. Run downstairs, go grab my food, and I start digging in, right? But this dude, I very much believe, and this is my opinion, I believe that he intentionally left this door open. I think he intentionally took his pants off, and in my opinion, he laid down and pretended to be asleep or drunk, intoxicated, whatever, and kind of hid his face so that whoever was coming to drop off his food would see him. I think it was intentional. Allegedly, it was intentional, right? And I find this disturbing because the person who's dropping off his food looks very young. She looks very young. And here's another thing. When you order on DoorDash, you can see, for example, if the person's name was, I don't know, Tatiana, right? You can see Tatiana has picked up your order. Tatiana is headed your way with your food. It essentially will show you who is going to be picking up and dropping off your food. I feel bad for this girl. I truly do. She's probably just trying to make some money to survive like the rest of us, and you have some weirdo, alleged weirdo, just exposing himself to her. And there are some people out there that get a kick out of doing things like this. Sometimes there's people that are like on subways or on public buses, just public areas, and they will either outright expose themselves, or they will try to, I guess, subtly engage in disgusting behavior, and they get a kick out of it. It's like an exhibitionist type of thing. It's some type of weird fetish. Here's an example from my personal life. I was driving on the street, this was like months ago, and it wasn't this thing that was like, oh, it was directed at me. There was this guy like being creepy towards me. No, I was just driving on the street and I saw a guy with his hand in his pocket, and it looked like he was trying to play Mario Kart in his pocket. Essentially, he's just standing there in the street, like on the street corner, wearing some sweatpants and just going to town. And it's just weird. And that shit, it does happen. It really does happen. Now we can finally get into the debate. Should she have posted this publicly? Should she have called the police? What should she have done? And I feel like there have been some statements floating around that are a bit kind of victim blaming. Like, oh, she should have done this. She should have not done that. Where, why is no one saying the guy should not have left his door open with his pants down? Why is that not the bigger conversation? Now, are there other steps that she could have taken to, I guess, maybe felt safe and felt protected? Yeah, but I think when you're in a moment when you're shocked and you're disgusted and you're confused, like, I don't know how I would have reacted in that situation. Some people are asking, well, why was she recording? She most likely already had her phone in her hand, because when you're doing DoorDash, I'm assuming that there's pings coming through, there's messages, like you're trying to see like what's the next order, you have to take a picture of the food, you have to confirm the delivery. So she probably already had her phone in her hand. And in an age where a lot of people feel a little bit safer documenting things as they happen, maybe she thought that this was a good piece of evidence to have in case she wanted to go file a police report or something like that. And I also feel like a lot of people, like if she came online and she just told this story, hey guys, I was out, I was running a DoorDash order and this is what happened, I guarantee my left pinky that there will be people saying, that never happened, you're a liar, no one would want to do that, that's impossible. I feel like there'd be a huge group of people that would not believe her unless she had video proof of it happening. I just find it really sad that she probably felt that she had to take this footage because she felt like people would not believe her if she tried to come out and say that this happened. Now, as far as posting it online, that's where we kind of get into some other territory. Maybe people that are underage might have been exposed to this video. That's where I find an issue with posting it publicly online. That content should not be on platforms such as TikTok, because, sorry if you guys can hear my cat bell, because that's where a lot of kids spend their time online on TikTok. So I do see there being an issue with her posting it, but as far as her recording it as a piece of evidence, I have no issue with that. He should not have done that. I don't care how intoxicated you are, you should not be exposing yourself to people like that. I really think that he wanted her to come inside and to maybe engage with him in a way that she did not consent to. As of right now, the video has been taken. I think she was probably banned from delivering on DoorDash now, which kind of sucks because that was probably a way for her to make money. I think that it's a very complicated issue that could have been easily remedied if the man had initially decided to just be a decent human and not expose her. But it seems like a lot of the fall is coming down on her, and hopefully she's doing okay. So people have been discussing this on Reddit. Some people are saying calling the police if you feel it's necessary is the answer. Recording someone naked and posting it online now makes you the felon. It's that fucking simple. She's no longer the victim because she decided to take things into her own hands. I agree with half of this statement. Maybe calling the police would have been helpful. I think recording him was probably necessary. However, I don't think that posting it online was necessary. That's the point where I think things went too far. But maybe she felt other people need to be aware of what's happening and what has happened. Let's see. This comment says, I have a different take. I think this dude was drunk. He ordered food, had sex on the couch, and his friend left, leaving the door ajar while he passed out. Even if he was indecently exposed for whatever reason, she was not essayed. He never touched her. She had zero right to film him and post it online. Okay, so back in that video, guys, that door was not ajar. A jar, I think, is like maybe like a 10-inch crack, maybe. It was wide open. It was wide open. Fucking raccoons and fucking possums could have fit through that door frame. It was wide open, okay? This person says, so the guy had enough consciousness to order DoorDash, but not to fall asleep naked with the door not fully closed. Like, I've just never thought to leave my door open in the middle of the night. It's nighttime. This person says, indecent exposure doesn't require you to touch somebody. Okay, so some people are saying that she opened the door. They keep saying she opened the door, but for what I've seen, it's open. They're saying not in the original first video. the original video doesn't exist. Everyone keeps saying she had to open it before taking the video. Oh my god. Okay, this comment's kind of gross. They said if she had any class or had been raised right in any way, she would close the door, place the food where he ate, I think they meant where he wanted, and left. That was her one job and she couldn't do it. You don't have to film everything you see to try and be famous. Just shows how far we've gone in society. I don't think she's trying to be famous. I think she's trying to expose an exposure. Like, she's trying to tell people like, hey, this guy is gross. This dude is a weirdo. Stay away from him. Also, it's not her fucking job to take care of this man who was a stranger. I'm sorry, but that's kind of pissing me off. It's like, I'm so sick of this. Women need to essentially assist a man who she has no connection to this man. She doesn't owe him shit. She doesn't owe him anything. This comment says, so if this was a child passing by his house instead of a woman, would this apply as well? And that's another thing. Like, Halloween is right around the corner. Could you imagine if this guy decides to get drunk on Halloween and he passes out on his couch and his pants are off and a kid goes up to his house to go trick-or-treating? It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking nasty. Like, as an adult, to get alcohol, you have to be over the age of 21. If you're over the age of 21, you should have common sense and knowledge enough to know that if you're getting inebriated and you can't keep your pants on while you're drunk, I don't even care if it's in the privacy of your own home. Once your door is open and other people can see you exposed, that's your fault. That is on you. Okay, so it seems like there's been some confusion circulating around where people are saying she pushed the door open, but it looks like, okay, this seems to be the screenshot. So people are saying that this is the door and she had to have pushed it open. But if you take a look at this picture, this is the original photo. So it's getting taken out of context. She had to go, oh my gosh. So people are like cropping the photo to make it look like she was viewing it from this angle when it was actually this angle. So this is what happens when things go crazy online, and if there is any additional information that comes to light that disproves whether she opened the door or she didn't, from what I have seen with my own eyes, the door was wide open. Now, if there's like a Ring doorbell or something that can show that she opened the door, then maybe we could have a further discussion after that. But from what I'm seeing, the door was wide open. And there's been so much speculation and screenshots that are being cropped and edited, and people are talking about different angles. And I've also been seeing like a lot of just misogyny and sexism and saying it's her fault, blaming her. And of course, a woman would try and make this up and pin it on a guy. Like they're saying that she's doing it for clout and she's doing it for fame. I really don't think that was her intention. Then we get into the talks of, is this revenge porn? And I would say technically yes, it's illegal to post someone naked without their consent. Yes, she could have felt violated and felt just uncomfortable. Maybe she wasn't in the greatest headspace. I don't want to blame her and say that she's a horrible person. I really think that this situation should have never happened. But as you can see, this thread on Reddit has really blown up with a lot of people giving very different opinions.
Guess what? If I get one more strike, I'm banned from TikTok. So not only did I get assaulted 3 days ago on October 12th on Sunday, I then lost my job. The police are doing nothing. And if I get one more account strike on TikTok, my account's done. This is a man's world. I'm the victim. Remember?
Okay, so I found this link and maybe we're gonna get some information. Because if I post this saying the door was wide open and it wasn't, then I'm gonna kind of look like a dumbass, not gonna lie. I paused and I was going through this information a little bit more slowly. I just want to make sure I get as much information as possible before I post my video. I have not watched this video before. I am just going to see what new information I can find out through this video.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email immediately after deactivation providing you the reason why and a link to appeal, and they didn't. So I contacted support and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why. So my chances of getting my account back, they have my money in that account. I was working! I was literally working! And they deactivated me!
Okay, I feel like if you are working with a company and they have your funds and your money, whether you get fired or you quit or anything like that, that money that you earned should still be paid out to you. Maybe that's a controversial take, I don't know, but it's kind of like when you work somewhere and the manager's like, "No, I'm gonna hold your check." I don't think that's right. I wish they would have expanded on the reason why her account was deactivated. Like I said, I do feel bad when people lose their jobs. But I don't know. I'm in a state that is at will employment. So you can literally just be fired at any moment for whatever reason. I understand why they would fire her. It sucks that they did, but I understand it because this is your company and you have to have like a professional look. And she posted someone who was nude without their consent. And we can't just make consent like a one-way street, like, oh, only women can consent or only men can give consent, stuff like that. No, like, she did not consent to be exposed. He did not consent to have his video posted online. You see, here's my thing. I have no issue with her recording the video. I have an issue with her posting it online. And maybe that's not a great take, but that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. She should have recorded it as evidence, because like I know there would be people that wouldn't believe her, so I definitely understand her getting her own evidence. Let's see if there's any other information that is relevant.
Well, it turns out someone is saying that she actually lied about it all because the original video.
Okay, so this is where things get messy, because what this girl is saying right here, she's saying someone is saying that she lied. Someone, like, I need to see proof of the other side. I have yet to see anyone give anything solid of her opening the door, but maybe we can get some more information, possibly, I don't know.
Video that got taken down. In this original video, apparently you can find it on the little app, the little orange app. Well, on there you can see that she's the one who opened the door.
Where is this video? Where is this video that everyone's talking about? That's what I'm finding very frustrating about the situation, because if she opened the door, that would give us a different perspective. Everyone's saying that she opened it, but I have yet to see anybody post that proof. And this video right here that got deleted, this is floating around everywhere. You can find this video pretty easily. I'm confused as to why the second video just suddenly got deleted from everywhere.
That clip to spread. Suddenly everyone was saying the same thing, she made it up. Comment sections that once supported her now filled with anger. One viewer wrote, "You can't call it assault if you walked in." Another said she ruined her own career for likes. Creators who had defended her started deleting their videos. Subreddits labeled it the DoorDash hoax. And across TikTok, DoorDash girl lie became a trending phrase. Livy tried to fight back, posting that she never lied, that the video was taken out of context. But by then, the narrative was gone. The internet had already made up its mind. She wasn't the victim anymore, she was the villain of her own story.
DoorDash has released another statement in the situation with the girl who says she was SA'd and fired from DoorDash. So, we've seen some tough and sensitive posts over the past few days, and we want to clear the air. No one should ever experience SA, harassment, or abuse, and DoorDash never deactivates someone for reporting it. Full stop. We take these reports incredibly seriously and work closely with the law enforcement to investigate and support those affected. In this case, the Dasher let us know about an experience that made them feel unsafe, and that's exactly what we always want Dashers to do.
And after days of silence, DoorDash finally released a statement. They confirmed that Livy's account was permanently deactivated. But according to them, it wasn't for reporting an assault. They said she violated company policy by publicly...
Okay, so I understand. Yeah, she did violate their policy. Now, what I'm trying to understand is more in regards to, like, did she initiate opening the door? That's what I can't find. Let me scrub this video. Okay, so this video seems to keep replaying the same, like, 2 clips. But where is the proof that she actually opened the door? If you have seen it and you can enlighten me, let me know. Like, I understand why this is so controversial, because you have so many different opinions and people have a lot of feelings wrapped up into this. And there also seems to be context either added that's not true, or there seems to be context that's missing. And that's what I'm having the hardest time wrapping my mind around. Maybe there'll be an update to this story. I'm not sure, but I'll give you guys my final thoughts and opinions. Okay, so this story has taken a twist that I was not exactly expecting. I don't know if I would call it a twist or more context necessarily. So essentially, I got off work, I came home, and I just wanted to do one more run through of information and searching before I posted this video, just to make sure I could say that I did my due diligence in trying to find information to make this story as accurate as possible. However, through that research, I ended up on TikTok, and I now see that there are people posting AI reenactments of the scenario. And the reason I think that this is very important, not only is it because I hate AI and a certified AI hater, we've talked about AI being used for malicious purposes before. We've talked about it being used for Eugenia Cooney's videos and how weird and fucked up that is. Well, now I feel like I'm a little bit proven right in the fact that people are now using AI to make and create videos of someone doing something that they didn't do, allegedly, right? So we have people posting these videos with this girl and her likeness, and it actually shows her entering into this man's house. It shows her taking the video inside of his house. The original video that I saw that the girl posted, she is outside of his house and the door is open. All these other videos that are now circulating, I think are very much so misconstruing the truth and just twisting the narrative. And this is kind of making me a little pissed off because we see it happening now that this girl is being completely discredited. I wonder if the people that saw the quote-unquote original video are people that saw the AI video, watched that for 5 seconds, and then continued to scroll and just thought that they had the full story. No, there are so many people posting AI videos and sharing these AI videos of her doing this that I wonder if that's where all this misinformation is coming from. And it's really grinding my gears. But yeah, I just wanted to clarify that I have been doing some more research behind the scenes. As I'm editing, I'm checking back and see if there's been any updates to this story. But yeah, it just seems that people are being really shitty about this. And I was gonna share some of the videos that I saw just so you guys could see that, like, how fake some of them look. Some of them actually look pretty convincing, but it has a little Sora logo on it. However, anybody that uses a smartphone, I'm sure that they could screenshot that, crop that out, and use that as their evidence to prove a point. And so yeah, it just seems like people are doing this as a joke. They're making fun of this girl. It's really malicious, and I can't get behind this. But yeah, so this is just a little cut of me talking about what other information I've had, and I'm just gonna splice this in with the rest of the video. So as we can see, this seems to be a very complex issue with lots of different narratives floating around. And I don't feel comfortable saying that for certain she was the one that opened the door, because from everything that I could see and everything that I have found in my research, she didn't open the door. I don't think it would make sense for a young woman who's alone at night going to strangers' houses to open the door and try and go inside of his home. That's the story that I first heard. So how rumors can spread and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I want to get your thoughts. Tell me, what do you think about the situation? Normally I try and have like a bit more of a solid opinion by the end of this, but it seems like there's information missing that's kind of making it difficult to come to a conclusion. She should not have posted the video online. He should not have been pantsless. DoorDash needs to give her money, but I understand why they fired her. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm gonna leave it at. But I'm just gonna leave it there. Maybe we'll touch on it again if I can get some further context or information. But regardless of all that, stay safe out there because this world is clearly a little bit crazy. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care of your pets, take care of yourself, maybe do something nice for yourself. But yeah, stay safe out there, guys, and as always, stay lovely.